You want to join my podcast?
You want to watch some tunes?
No,
Are you sure?
you're a podcaster. I've lost all respect for you.
Welcome back to another episode of Carson's Kanye Crusade. Pretty quick turnaround, from the last one, which was like a couple months ago. But we're back because Vulture does not want to finish playing Persona 1. And I said, hey, you want to listen to Vultures? And he was like, sure. So now we're here. Instead of finishing Persona 1, the greatest game ever made, according to Carson, we're listening to Kanye's comeback album after his turbulent, let's just say, 2022. So we have Vultures, his first collaboration project with Ty Dolla $ign. Now, Carson. I know, Donda, we had a very rocky listening experience, to say the least. You enjoyed a decent amount of it for most of its original track list. You started to lose yourself with the part 2 songs, and then you kind of fell off a cliff with the deluxe versions. You kind of didn't really enjoy the album. So I guess going into this new project, what do you expect going into this, and what do you hope for when listening to this?
Well, I've only heard the very worst things. And
Alright, so
yeah, I expect great trouble.
well, I don't want to spoil too much, but again, this is another comeback album from a tumultuous 2022, which we will probably discuss in the future. But for now, know that this is another collaboration project with someone who has helped Kanye out throughout many albums. His first notable help was on Life of Pablo. If I remember correctly, he was on Real Friends. He did some work for, I believe, on Ye and on Jesus is King. So he's been helping out every once in a while. But this is their first collaborative process together. So who knows, this might be another Kids See Ghosts situation we have here. Do you expect Kids See Ghost level quality?
I hope, but I doubt.
Well, there's no time like the present. So let's start out with the first track off of this wonderful album.
And that track is...
Stars. Well, that was the first track. So what'd you think of Stars?
extremely alright.
Alright. What was something you liked about it, and what was something you didn't really vibe with?
I think the lyrical work was kind of weak, but the instrumental it was fine.
I also sort of have that same sentiment. Stars doesn't really say a whole lot. I do think probably going from, again, the previous album, Donda, album starter, to this, it's just like, you don't really feel anything. I just don't really have that much to say about it. And I think part of the Ty Dolla verse, like his little singing was kind of a little grating, but I do think it is perfectly fine. Any other thoughts about that track?
Not really. I think it's just kind of a nothing burger.
Like Fortnite Burger?
.net?
Pretty good website.
It is.
I don't know if it's is it still up?
Let's find out.
Oh, wait, this is probably gonna be. We're definitely not. Don't put this in the video.
Who gonna stop me?
But if we don't have anything else to say about Stars, we will move on to the next track, Keys to My Life.
What she order? Papa John's.
Well, that was Keys to My Life. So, what'd you think of that?
Everything was good except for Kanye.
Yeah, I would probably say so. Whenever I listen to this album, whenever I hear like some of the meme parts that people clown on this and Vultures 2 for, I just kind of like lose all focus on this. Like the Eating Papa John's line is one of the lines people meme on. There's another one later that you obviously know, but I do think that track is perfectly fine. I do think the little switch up whenever it got to Ty's verse was a little off-putting, a little weird. Personally, didn't really fit, but I did think like the beat was perfectly fine. It was just whatever. But what did you think about that? I know I was supposed to ask you that.
I rather enjoyed the instrumental. I rather enjoyed Ty's verse. The extra person was good. Just Kanye failed to launch there.
Yeah, and obviously you can definitely tell, like how we said in the Donda video, where it's like, oh, he was trying to keep that Christian image of like no swearing, and then it goes to this album and it's like, okay, we're just dropping N-words and like all these profanities. It's like, well, what was the point then, Kanye? What happened? You get what I mean?
Yeah, what did happen?
Well, I can't really discuss this right now.
What do you mean you can't discuss it right now? We're at that point in the timeline.
That event did not influence this album all that much, except for one line, but we'll get to that. But he did not really talk about it on this album, unlike Donda, because Donda was both, like we said, a celebration album and sort of a coping with his divorce. This album really isn't about the event that happened in 2022. That will not be named until we get to that point, if we ever do a controversy
Which I most assuredly
timeline.
haven't heard about. And you most
Yes, you
assuredly,
definitely.
and you most assuredly haven't leaked. And
I haven't
most
said many of
assuredly,
times.
I didn't hear about it at the point in time. That wouldn't
Yes,
happen.
no, you've never had. Again, your only experience with Kanye Omari West is through his music and nothing else.
I think a lot of the support for Kanye even right now is he's just tapping into very niche beliefs.
Definitely true.
Factually true. We would never lie. People do not lie on the internet.
Indeed, we are not lying right now.
Precisely. Anyway, back to the track. I thought it was all right. You thought it was all right, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's alright. Better than the previous one.
Yeah, I definitely say it leaves a better impression than the opener track, but it's still really nothing to write home about. But if we do not have anything else to say about that track, we'll move on to the next one.
That track is Paid. You know what I think?
What do you think?
I think that song may very well describe Kanye's attitude going into this album.
All right, so let's hear this. What do you think Kanye's attitude is going into this album?
He's just here to get paid.
He's here to get paid, nothing else?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really want to even be here?
I'd say that's quite possible.
So I'm guessing you do not like that track that much.
It's not very good.
Yeah, I don't really like that one either. I think definitely what he's trying to do with like his like high pitched screaming-ish vocals, it kind of is very grating on the ears. Just like what he's saying, it just doesn't. It's just like the generic rap cliche crap. It's not even like interesting Kanye. Like in how he says it. It does get very repetitive with how many times you say the word paid. I think you should take a shot for every time they said the word paid.
I don't think I'd have a liver.
Yeah, I think you'd pass away from how many times they say the word paid. But I really don't have anything else interesting to add about it.
Yeah, me neither.
I think we might be saying that a lot about this album, unfortunately.
It does seem to be a bit of a nothing album.
Well, we're still in the beginning. It could pick up.
God willing. Or this is going to be a real short episode.
Yeah, but maybe the next track will be something of interesting to talk about. So let's move on to the next song on this album, which is
Talking.
Talking.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong, Holscher? What are you saying uh-oh for?
That track was smelly.
Is this big stinky?
Mhm.
Uh-oh. Stinky. Well, what was stinky about that track then? I could probably guess what is the main culprit.
The instrumentals and the bars.
All right, well, let's start with the instrumental first. I think the bars are going to be pretty self-explanatory, so what didn't you like about the instrumental?
It's like Yeezus, but without the artistic vision.
I could probably agree with that, it is very, very weird transition, kind of just goes from one song to another. No sense of flow. Like, I know Yeezus did that with New Slaves, but at least there it was like both parts of it were well, in my opinion, were very good, and they complemented each other fairly well to like warrant a switch up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This just feels like, okay, we're just gonna mash these two together and like hopefully it works. It doesn't really help that neither of the beats that were used for both of the transitions were very good. It felt very unfinished. Would you say?
I would. And it would appear that Kanye's daughter has picked up his lack of a rapping ability.
Yeah, that's the one thing I wanted to talk about that. What do you think about Miss Northwest's debut into rapping, aka Kanye West's daughter?
She might want to look into a different career path.
Well, unfortunately for you, Holscher, I'm pretty sure she's sticking to music because I'm pretty sure she has an album coming out relatively soon. I'm gonna check real quickly. Hold on. We're doing a quick Google. Yeah, I feel like this is a troll album. This is like, so according to the Google AI, I don't know if this is just a joke or if this is like an actual thing, but apparently she's setting to debut her album in 2026 with her first single, Piercing on My Hand, which is the one I talked about in Donda, where I was like, I listened to this on radio and I was like, good God, this is awful. Do you want to know what the album is supposedly going to be titled, Holscher?
I hope it's titled Starving Artist, because I think that's what she's going to be.
You know Kanye's first album name, right?
Yep, I sure do.
College Dropout, classic, legendary album. Well, she's setting to follow in her father's footsteps, with her first album being called Elementary School Dropout.
Fuck.
Again, this could just all be like a big goof, a big gaffe, a big troll. But if this is real, It's gonna be some pretty big shoes to fill.
Oh, that's awful. How do I put this politely? If Mr. West loved his child, he would tell her to stop.
I would agree with that. But again, this is sort of getting more into the personal drama with Kanye West. I feel like his daughter is like the last thing that's keeping him like genuinely sane. They both love each other very much. She loves her dad. He loves his daughter. I feel like that is like the last bit of sanity that is keeping Kanye West from not just like going completely off the deep end and just doing whatever he wants or just straight up like taking his own life. Like, I'm going to be genuinely serious than that. So I think they both kind of need each other, and just doing music, I think, is like helping them bond and just like be close. Because he doesn't, from what I've heard, he doesn't really get to see his kids after the divorce. So I think just having them be together and just being on albums like sort of a good coping and or just bonding exercise for both of them. So I think, while in that aspect, I can respect it. Musically, this is awful. You know what I mean?
I do concur.
Like, I understand why, if given context, but it still doesn't help the fact that this is awful. It's very, very shocking, you know, going from like Donda into even this. And it just saddens me as well.
I mean, Donda wasn't good.
Yeah, but compared
This is
to like,
bad.
that's why I said it's like the jumping quality is crazy, because you go from like this Donda to this. It's like Donda is like a Twisted Fantasy level quality. It's like, holy shit, what happened? I bet this is how people felt when they went from Twisted Fantasy to Yeezus, except Yeezus was actually different and interesting. This is just generic and nothing special.
I hate Yeezus, but at least there's a point.
Yeah, what's the point of this? I don't know. We're getting a little too ahead of ourselves, but yeah, that track's kind of dog crap, but it is very, very shocking. Unfortunately, this won't be the last time we will be hearing Miss Northwest on a Kanye project, so but that's for the future.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, so I guess, should we move on to the next song? Because I think we're both in agreement that that song was pretty bad.
Let's.
Well, let's continue on this journey with the next track.
Back to me.
And when you run away, baby, I need you to run back to me.
Oh, no.
Well, you know, sure. You didn't like that track either?
Afraid not.
Oh, no.
It feels like a really bad parody of Young Gravy.
You know, I could definitely see the vision. I think that perfectly sums up that song, actually, you know? And I hate Young Gravy.
Like, man, they're making Young Gravy look good.
That's certainly an achievement.
It is.
Speaking of Young Gravy, I know you were a fan of Rick Astley, so
Yeah,
you know,
Rick
this
Astley
is...
sued the living daylights out of him.
He did actually sue him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I knew he'd sampled, I think it was just a song called Get Money or something, and I was like, oh my good God, when I first heard it, and I heard the Never Gonna Give You Up sample, I was like, I want to vomit. So, he didn't get permission to use
Nope.
the song?
His
Really?
ass got sued.
I'm guessing he won the lawsuit?
I don't
Rick did?
remember. All I know is he got sued.
Damn. I know this is a little off topic, because I guess we don't want to talk about the song we just listened to, but back on topic. What were your thoughts on Back to Me?
What the hell happened to Kanye?
Again, can't really...
What happened? Where did all that skill go? Did it disappear over the course of a 4-year span?
Well, okay, oh shit, this came out 2 years after Donda, his last album.
Wait,
So this was 2023. Wait, hold on, am I stupid? When did this album release?
2024? And I thought Donda was 2020.
No, Donda was 2021. So 3 years. Sorry, my fault.
How does he lose all that skill in 3 years?
You know, that's a great question. That is a fabulous question.
I mean, like,
Again,
don't get me wrong, he was on the decline. But what happened?
I don't know. Again, another funny thing is he tried to release this on the 20th anniversary of College Dropout.
That's insulting.
Yeah, that is insulting to one of the greatest debuts in hip-hop history. But again, without getting too much into the history, it is a great question as to what... I think it's just the people he was hanging out with and just what musical style he was going through is what influenced this. Because again, if this was like even Donda era Kanye, he would have been like, no, this shit's fucking awful. But something snapped, I guess, and musical ability just disappeared.
What the fuck?
So, you didn't like Back to Me?
No.
What didn't you like about it?
All of it.
Besides everything. Okay, well, let's elaborate on everything.
Kanye's rapping was dog ass.
Yes, I agree. I do
Usually-
think...
The last few times I remember Ty Dolla $ign being around, Kanye was much better than him. Now, when Ty
Are
Dolla
you
Sign comes into a song, I think to myself, man, that guy's awesome. I
You're
shouldn't
saying
be thinking
Kanye-
that.
You're saying Kanye being so utterly crap is making Ty Dolla Sign look better
Yeah.
by comparison?
I mean, no wonder
Yeah.
he wants to collaborate with Kanye. It's a free win.
I guess so.
I mean, other than you have this shit saving album on your record, but, you know,
What can you do?
at least Kanye is making
should-
it look good.
Oh, I was gonna say I need to show you his freshman freestyle from 2014. That was incredibly funny. It'll probably give you some good motivation for if you're gonna edit this album. You can probably cut this part out if you want, but it is a fucking hilarious freestyle.
I like to get my dick sucked while I'm getting high. Make a deep throat, the mouth never get dry. I say, who pussy is this? She say dollar sign. Who pussy is this? She say dollar sign.
I know we're getting off topic, but did you like the main chorus or sample line of this track?
Not really. It flowed poorly.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know why he sampled Jay and Silent Bob and like what purpose if it was. Like the original scene was just like the original scene worked because it was just a joke, you know. Guys like us don't fall out the fucking sky, you know. Someone fall like just a random dude falls from the sky. Jay and Bob look at the dude and then Silent Bob's like, beautiful big titty but naked women just don't fall out the sky, and then nothing happens. You know, it's just a stupid joke. Why that's enough for example? I don't know. It is kind of weird.
And sad
Did you enjoy
Kanye made it his whole verse.
Yeah. Did you enjoy Freddie Gibbs' verse?
More than Kanye's.
Yeah, I do think Freddie Gibbs is probably the best part of that track. He's actually rapping. Granted, it is fitting with the vibe of the album of just being generic hip-hop braggadocious, but it's rapping.
You know what
I still
else
can't-
was generic braggadocious hip-hop?
What?
Watch the Throne.
Yeah,
Watch
but
the
that was
Throne was okay.
Yeah, but that was also two legends going bar for bar, like actually trying to equal each other and like how they were rapping, you know? This is like, okay, Kanye West going, it's like Mike Tyson trying to fight fucking Ricky Berwick, you know? It's like that's not even gonna compare. But again, instead of like prime Mike Tyson fighting Ricky Berwick, it's like Mike Tyson, Jake Paul version, you know, the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight and how he put up in that. So I mean, hey, Ricky would probably have a chance in actually beating Mike Tyson. Yeah, I don't really vibe with that track either. It's just kind of stupid. Any other pressing thoughts about that track?
I have a pressing thought. Let's move on to the next track.
Well, hey, third time's the charm, holster, so maybe, just
Sure.
maybe, you gotta have faith sometimes, alright? So, let's move on to the next track, which is...
Hood Rat.
Shit Kanye say, that sounds insane. No doubt he got some mental fucking issues.
I don't think he merely sounds insane.
You think Kanye is insane?
I think it is a strong possibility.
And did this track sell you on the idea that Kanye is a mental patient?
A little bit. I think years from now, when they're studying music at whatever big universities there happen to be, they will point to this song and they will say, "This, boys and girls, is how you do not write a hook."
You don't like just the word hood rat being played like 50 times over?
I don't. Now, credit where credit is due. Kanye did better this song, but still sucked ass.
Yeah, the singing, rapping isn't really fitting with the beat. It feels like they're training really, really hard of their vocals, trying to like both hit the notes and maintain them, so it just doesn't really sound good at all. The random screaming doesn't also help.
Now, you see, Bryce, the screaming, that's meant to describe how the audience feels about this album.
Yeah, it's like pain and suffering. I did find it funny whenever we were transitioning to that track and it had featuring Mike Tyson. I was like, oh shit, I forgot he's on this track at the very end. So I'm like being 100% serious. I did not mean to make that Mike Tyson comparison on the previous track. It was a complete coincidence. All right.
I believe you.
Okay, thank you. I was like,
Just
I
like
didn't
the
mean to
audience
troll.
believes us about a variety of things.
Listen, we would never lie about anything. I did not lie there, saying that I forgot that Mike Tyson was on this album as like a little closer track. And you definitely have only experienced Kanye Omari West through his music and nothing else.
Indeed.
That's all I have about the song. Do you have any other thoughts?
Yeah, so let's move through this album as quickly as humanly possible.
All right. Well, thankfully this is not as long as Donda. I feel like if this song qualities were Donda length, I don't think we'd be able to get through this album like ever. So let's move on to the next track, which is...
Do it.
It's beautiful.
Oh, you like that track, Carson?
Compared to the last one.
So you enjoyed it?
It's not exactly good, but it's a breath of fresh air.
I would agree. Definitely is a step up. What did you enjoy about that track?
We have the beginnings of a competent instrumental. Kanye's rapping, and he's not making me want to gouge my eardrums out. It's not exactly high art,
Yeah, I would agree.
but at least
Do you
it's
think-
not an absolute dumpster fire.
That is true. I agree. I do think the beat and the rapping is a lot better. Although in saying that, the only reason the beat is better is because it is just basically an interpolation slash sample of another song from over 20 years ago. That entire like the entire ending verse, like part of it is just straight up lifted from another song. Like it's just the exact same, except it's pitched up slightly and it is faster. And if you want to know what that song is called, it is the 1999 classic known as "Back That Ass Up" by Juvenile.
Slightly embarrassing for Mr. West.
It is. I mean, it literally, like, the ending part is literally just, it's just that song. Like, I'm surprised they let him. They're like, yeah, cool. We're cool with you sampling, like, basically the ending of that song in its entirety. Sampling is also going to be another prevalent issue going forward. Some songs get removed from streaming, and we'll have to listen to them again because of rights issues. One song from this album actually got taken off because of sampling, so I'll send you a re-upload of that to get the full album experience. But it's very shocking, you know, for a man who once was able to create excellent pieces of music because of sampling is being reduced to this. It's kind of crazy.
Sad. I miss Kids See Ghosts.
You see what I mean when I said on Pablo with I Love Kanye Culture and how that's going to be the most well-aged song probably in this entire journey?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like at a certain point I'll ask you that question again. What would you consider the old Kanye now? I know I asked you that on Pablo, I believe, and you said it was up to Twisted Fantasy, right?
He's up to Kids See Ghosts. That's his last good album.
All right, so we got to that point now. All right, so we're up to Kids See Ghosts. So maybe as we go on, it'll move up a little bit. But as for now, the old Kanye West, according to Carson, is now Kids See Ghosts.
And I'm not saying that because, Kids See Ghosts wasn't that bad in retrospect to this. No, Kids See Ghosts was fucking good. I'll put it on the same level as College Dropout.
All right. I do think that is rated number 8. They're both 8s last time I checked, but yeah, it is kind of crazy. Again, that's why, you know, I know you don't like Pablo, but some of those songs have aged fucking crazy for what the future would entail. I know we're getting very introspective about Kanye's music as a whole and not talking about this album, but again, I feel like we're not really adding much to the conversation. It's just, yeah, this is kind of crap compared to what he used to make.
Starting to think I should have kept playing Persona 1. Listening to Jesus.
Yeah, your favorite album so far.
Two things I enjoy about as much as eating glass have proved to be more pleasurable than this.
Well, we haven't even made it to halfway point, so maybe this could be like
God.
Twisted Fantasy level of peak with these next couple of tracks. Also, we need to just tough it out, and maybe, just maybe, we might get peak.
No.
Well, let's continue then on to the next track.
Paperwork. Another thing that would be more fun than this album.
We about to get this paper.
Man, I love Jesus.
Oh my god, yeah. So, I'm guessing by that comment right there, you did not particularly enjoy that track.
That instrumental was terrible.
Yeah. I think that song right there is what people who don't like Yeezus think Yeezus sounds like.
I don't like Jesus. That's not what Jesus sounds like.
Yeah. Like, imagine if you took I Am a God but made it like 40 times worse. That's what that reminded me of.
I concur.
Like that, it doesn't have the intensity that beat would need in order for it to work. And it also just needs to be less ear grating. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fucking hell. I owe Jesus an apology.
Yeezus is back on top. Easy season approaching.
Instant 6.
Fuck yeah. I'm happy with that. We'll mess with that later, but for right now, besides the instrumental being god awful, what did you think of like the performance wise of that track?
I've seen worse out of this album.
Yeah. I do think it's just more generic hip hop stuff like, oh, baby girl, you can marry the superstar. You know, you don't gotta work too hard. You can drive my black car. I can't think of another bar. Ooh, why doesn't Kanye put me on an album, man? I can rap just as well as he is on this album.
I completely agree.
What's stopping him? I've seen who he's collaborated with on later albums. I should be on this fucking project. Put me on Bully. I'll replace all the songs that you are being accused of AI, and I will sing them myself. Won't be great, but it won't be AI. It won't be AI, you could even say. That's for the future.
I've heard you freestyle. You can freestyle pretty good.
I will eat your father, then I'll eat your mother, then I'll send them all back to the slaughter. Freestyle bullshit.
But it's funny bullshit.
That is true.
Unlike this.
Yeah, this is not funny territory. This is very depressing territory. Any other thoughts?
I think we need to keep moving so we can get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that's fair. So let's move on to the next track on this album.
Burn, which is what I want to do with this album. Yes, burn it with fire.
Okay, so what did you think of that track?
Who gave Kanye a good instrumental? I know
Yeah.
Kanye didn't give Kanye a good instrumental.
I think there's another question to ask, Culture. Who gave Kanye a good verse?
Not Kanye.
Again, I think this is the most tonally shocking song on this album because it's actually pretty decent, I would say. Would you agree?
I would agree.
It sort of sounds like the old Kanye. Something you hear like on Late Registration or maybe even College Dropout. Where is he at? Is the old Kanye back? Please,
I doubt
Mr.
it.
West. I think that's probably the most shocking song on this album because it's like, damn,
That was
why
okay.
couldn't the rest of this? Why couldn't the rest of this album just be like this? If it was this quality, I'd be like a decent 6 or a 7. 7. I thought that track was pretty decent. Although, in saying that, one thing I do want to sort of bring up, like a little, I wouldn't say it, I would say fun fact. I don't know why that version is so compressed compared to the leaked version. Because the leaked version of that track, the vocals are way less compressed for some reason. So I don't know what the heck happened, but that is very a nod that I have picked up on. What did you think about that track though, other than wanting to burn this album down?
You know, it's fine.
Definitely an improvement.
I would say so.
Would you say this is the best song off the album so far?
I would. There's a tiny chance I actually listen to it a second time.
I would agree. Sometimes I do listen to this version, this song, because it is like, it's short, quick, and it actually doesn't make me feel like I want to blow my brains out. It doesn't make me want to burn my dread, one could even say. Ting. I'll see myself out. Terrible jokes.
I too will see myself out. Terrible album.
Well, listen, we still have a good amount of songs left to go, so it could still go up from here. Maybe this might be the turning point where it's like, all right, this album actually starts to be good. All right, so hopefully it'll improve.
All we need is a miracle.
We do need a miracle. We might die in an accident and we might go to heaven. And when I go to heaven, I'll spend it on a necklace, and I'll tell God I'll be back in a second, because it's so hard to act reckless. All right, I'm sorry. I'll stop reminding us of good Kanye. We need to keep listening to current Kanye. So, let's move on to the next track on this album.
Fuck something.
Fuck you! I'm done!
Hey, look, guys. It's Discount Young Gravy. All of the gross and all of the poor quality lyrics, and none of the funny.
Was Young Gravy even really funny to begin with?
Sometimes.
I would beg to differ. But that's someone else. We gotta talk about Kanye West. So what do you think about Fuck Some? Do you fuck with that song?
Fuck this album, man.
This album is great. What were your thoughts on that track?
I'm glad it's done.
Oh, sure, we're not done.
I'm glad that track's done.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the album's done. I was like, we still have like a good amount of songs left, but you don't have anything to say about that track?
The instrumental was subpar. The lyrics were also subpar. And once again, it sounds like a very sad impersonation of Young Gravy.
I've tried to avoid Young Gravy like it's the plague. Corniest rapper in the game.
He only exists to be listened to ironically.
I wouldn't even say that, because at least there's nothing really interesting to say about Young Gravy. Like, even if it's like funny music, it's just not funny. Not interesting, personally, but just like this isn't funny or interesting, well, except maybe the Chipmunk vocals for some reason. You got Alvin and the Chipmunks on this track.
I mean, I know they call
When
it Chipmunk Soul, but this is a bit on the nose.
Yeah, so you remember when Kanye did that? You remember Through the Wire, right?
Sure do.
How he took Through the Fire by Chaka Khan and then Chipmunkified it, and it became a legendary song.
I sure do.
Well, here it is again.
Here it
Or
is.
infinitely worse. Yeah. There's no soul, could even say, to
It's
that
just
chipmunk. Yeah, it's just Alvin. I don't really like that track either. And this is the depressing episode right here. You know, it's like 808s is supposed to be Kanye's most depressing album. Nah, this is shit that'll make you fucking hate your life. Any other thoughts about that track?
I think 808s makes you sad because of what emotions the music evokes. This album makes you sad because you are listening to it.
I would have to agree with that statement. You know, there's a purpose to 808s. There really isn't a purpose to this album.
Sure there is, to generate cash for Mr. West.
I guess so. And to make Ty Dolla $ign look better. Which, I mean, you know, if that was the goal, then mission accomplished, I'd say. But at what cost?
Mr. West's reputation.
I guess so. Musical integrity, legacy. But if we don't have anything else to say about that track, we will move on to the next one, which is
Vultures.
the title track. This might be interesting.
Mr. West says he has Alzheimer's. Maybe he forgot how to do music.
Yeah, I probably something. Just forgot. He forgot.
I think that answers the question. We know what happened to Mr. West.
He forgot. What did you think of that track, Carson?
Not good.
Did you like anything about that track?
Well, it wasn't the pale imitation of Jesus. That's something.
That is true. I will agree. It did not actively annoy me. I feel like I was just disappointed because I feel like that song was building up to like a really explosive chorus and or verse, and it just wasn't there. Like, you get what I'm saying?
I do.
I think it was two rappers. I don't know. The guy who's like, they should just not been on that track. They just were not good at all. Like, I don't know why they chose those two to rap on a beat like that deserved to be probably go a lot harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's the kind of shit they'd play in the middle school locker room. Except they played good rappers like Drake
Well,
in the middle school locker room. And occasionally
listen, don't.
there was some young gravy who's at least got more talent than that.
I guess so. Well, there is a song on here that middle schoolers around the world loved bopping to in 2024. I'll see if you can point it out whenever it comes on. But did you like Ty Dolla's verse?
No.
Did you like Kanye's verse?
No.
Did anything in Kanye's verse jump out to you, particularly in when the beat cut off?
If I were keeping up appearances, I would say no.
That's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. I do think Kanye forgot how to rap. I think that track proves it. You know, for a title track, it's not really that great, you know.
But it is representative of the album.
He forgot how to make music. But we still have time. He might pull it back. I'm huffing copium, okay? He might bring it back, okay? We still have some tracks to go.
I don't believe you.
You have to have hope. Hopium. Take all the hopium, the copium, any noun that can be used with ium at the end. Take it, because we need this album to be great, okay? Make Kanye great again. My presidential slogan for 2028.
Oh, I thought that was Kanye's presidential slogan.
I don't even think he had a presidential slogan for 2020. But again, that's for later discussions with politics. For now, we will move on to the next track, which is
Carnival. Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, I hope one day you find someone in life who can carry you when you're weak, the same way Autotune is carrying these guys.
Oh, dude. Call the fire department. He's burning these people alive. Well, you know how I said on the previous one, the people playing this in like the school locker room? This was known as one of the TikTok anthems of 2024 that was very popular at middle school dances, apparently. Because apparently this thing has over 100 million views on Spotify. I don't know why. I guess it's just
I think
the
it's probably
beats.
the beat.
I mean, yeah, but there's better beats.
There are.
But what did you think of that track, though, overall?
like a watered down version of Yeezus. I mean, credit where credit's due. The beat's fine. Maybe even good. But man,
Would you say the performers enhance it, or
bad?
all the performances were bad?
Yeah. And that little sample that they had going?
Yeah. Hey, did you hear it? It was like Hell of a Life from Twisted Fantasy. You remember that, right, Holster?
I actually don't.
No, it's the intro to Hell of a Life. That's sampled from Ozzy Osbourne's Black Sabbath song. I forgot the name of it. Well, speaking of Ozzy, originally that was the Iron Man sample. That was the song, actually, sorry, that Kanye sampled on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy for Hell of a Life. And originally it was just the Iron Man guitar riff, but Ozzy was like, hey, can't do that. I'm going to sue you. We had to change it to the My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy guitar riff. I think that's the only interesting thing about that song, because it reminds you of a better song. I feel like that's kind of the vibe of this whole album is Kanye is doing the South Park member berries. Remember Yeezus? I remember.
Sure do.
Remember Twisted Fantasy? I remember.
Kinda. See, the funny thing is, we already went down memory lane last album. Pretty much every song on there was a derivative of a better album.
I would say at least with Donda's case, it was sort of a celebration rather than just, hey, remember this? You know, because there was so much to work for with Donda. You know, it was trying to be the best of every Kanye album that it really doesn't have its own definitive sound, you know what I mean? Like, at least it tried. You know, Donda was I'm going to put in 100% effort, and despite it kind of being crap, at least he tried, you know? He put in fucking everything.
I can forgive one victory lap in 15 years. We do not forgive back-to-back victory laps in this household, especially when it does not come after a victory.
It's like a participation trophy. So you did not like that track at all?
No.
You didn't like Playboi
I
Carti's
liked the
second
beat a little
appearance?
bit, but other than that, no.
That's fair. And I do think, because I really don't listen to this song, I didn't really listen to it when it was like the big TikTok trend to listen to it. I know Drew fucking hates this song. I think this might be his least favorite track off of this entire album, just for like how much TikTok has like rotted this song. I think last time I talked to him. So take that for what you will.
You can't find any worse songs on this album.
I think it's just the fact that like this one technically, like sonically, it's decent. It's just that overplay and like the stupid trend that was on TikTok kind of fucking ruined it. I think that's why he doesn't like it. You know, the other ones it's like, oh yeah, they're crap, whatever. No one's really like bumping them. You know, this one it's like, okay, there's something here. But I mean, again, don't take my word as gospel. You'll have to ask him. But TikTard's ruined this song for him. But if we don't have anything else interesting to say about that track, we will move on to the next one, which will hopefully be better. I'm running out of copium here, Holster. My tank's running low. I might fucking die.
Beg forgiveness.
Oh.
I agree. He should. Kanye West should beg forgiveness for this dog-ass album.
You should hang your head in shame.
Hey, Bryce, you want a fun fact?
What is your fun fact, Carson?
The percussion in the background of that track is produced by Kanye repeatedly bashing his head into a wall. And that is how he got Alzheimer's.
He had brain damage from creating the drums, and that's why he forgot music.
Yep.
All right, well, you know, that's a pretty good fact. I don't know that. Thank you for telling me that. You know, I usually am the one that's like, here's a fun trivia fact about Kanye, but you know, I learned something new about Kanye, so thank you about that. I really appreciate that. Do you have any other thoughts about that track other than that cool fact?
Yeah, I miss Drunken Hot Girls.
And you drunken hot girl.
Heavenly fucking music compared to this.
You don't think this song forgives the rest of this album being crap?
No.
Did you like Ty Dolla $ign screaming?
No.
And
I
you didn't like anything about
Oriented. That's about it.
I think you've said that already before about another song on this album.
It's still true.
I guess so. I really don't have any thoughts about the track. I remember it being a lot more annoying when I first listened to it. I'm not sure if that's just if I'm remembering wrong or if it's another track, but I just remembered it being a lot more annoying when I first listened to this, but I could just be remembering wrong. I don't really have anything else interesting to say about that track. I thought that was kind of boring, not really interesting, kind of dull. Other synonyms for bland.
I think we should move on to the next track. That's what I think.
I would have to agree with you on that statement. Let's do that. Let's move on to problematic. Do you think this entire album's problematic?
For Kanye's future as a rapper? Yeah.
Used to shop at Aldi's.
Shop at Aldi's.
We do shop at Aldi's. We even shopped at Aldi's during Donda.
We sure did.
Dude, that was funny. I was like, whenever I was like, what is problematic? And I was like, and then I heard like the actual beat, and I was like, oh wait, this is the song. This is the meme. He's gonna shop at Aldi. You even like gasp when you heard it. You were like, oh, there it is. Oh, that was pretty funny. Besides the Aldi line, what'd you think of that track?
The Aldi line was funny. Other than that, dog ass.
Yeah, after re-listening to it and listening to some of the lyrics, some of those just sound fucking weird. Like him saying, when I was 15, my soulmate wasn't even born yet. That's some
funny thing to say.
And the fucking, it's not a preference. My wife is just a reference. And if you look up pictures of his new wife, it does look kind of similar to his previous one. It's just a food for thought. The woman on the cover of this album, which we did some heavy editing to avoid having just straight ass in the thumbnail. That's his new wife. Her name is Bianca. I don't know her last name because it's kind of hard to pronounce. Those two have also been in some pretty hot water. That's for the future that we may or may not talk about. But I thought that track was like whatever. Besides the Aldi line being funny because of what it spawned and the insanity posting that is the shit posts that were made of this album and the next one. There's nothing really special about that track. You have any other thoughts about that track?
No.
Well, then we will move on to the next song then.
The last song.
Well, we technically have two more because one of them, I said this at the near the beginning, I think. One of the songs got removed off of streaming for copyright. And I'll tell you the reason why, but I might just send it to you on YouTube. But for now, we will listen to the tentative final song, which is King.
Somebody please make it stop.
Okay, we can't dance around it anymore, can we?
Around what, Hulcher?
I don't know. It's a weird thing for me to say, isn't it?
Yeah, what did you notice during that track? The line, shut the hell up, you get exiled. You sound like Elmo. I think that's also just like a clip of him just saying that to someone randomly because they were arguing with him. He's like, shut up before you get exiled. Oh wait, no, that was at a Vultures listening party. He just said that to someone, and he put that on the song for some reason.
Ain't nobody stop. It's shut up. Be quiet before you get exiled.
Look, at least this song had a vision.
Could you tell what its vision was?
No, which goes very well with all the other truthful things we've said during this video.
Yeah. Again, I feel like this is just the whole Remember album, because the previous one before this, it made reference to I mean, the shit is fucking ridiculous from Beautiful Twisted Fantasy. It's like, damn, man, can you do any more references to better albums, yay? Can you give me a reason? You're just giving me more reasons to go listen to your better albums. Like, what the fuck happened here? But did you have any interesting thoughts about that track?
Oh, of course not.
Is this the Nothing Burger album?
It might be.
I would have to agree with you, besides some funny choices of lyrics, production, it's just like, whatever. But if we do not have anything else to say about it, we will move on to the actual final song of this album that got removed, I believe. It is Good, in parentheses, Don't Die. Now, in doing a quick Google search of the song, Carson, the reason for it is it samples the 1977 song I Feel Love by Donna Summers, and the husband of Donna Summers and the Donna Summers estate said, hey, we didn't allow you to have this on the album, and they got sued into a lawsuit, and they had to remove it from the album. Apparently, according to Wikipedia, they had to pay $150,000 in damages.
Normally I'd say, I don't give a damn. However, this album sucks ass, so it feels deserved.
Maybe this song can save this entire album.
If it does, I don't think it'll be Kanye's doing.
Yeah, you're probably right. So, I guess without further ado, we will listen to the final track of this album, Good, in parentheses, Don't Die.
Good riddance.
Wow, that was sure carried by the sample.
Yeah, do you see why they were like, yo, we didn't give you permission to use this?
Yeah. I feel like this is kind of the same thing as putting your name on someone else's work and turning it in.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Did you at least enjoy that track more than what we've heard so far?
Yeah, although the rapping was a dog ass.
Probably agree. I definitely do think the sample is definitely what elevates it. Then again, it's like the only good thing about it, and it's not even on the damn album anymore. Which kind of sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. But hey, good news. We're done. We have finished.
Whoa! Yes! Fuck yeah! Hell fucking yeah! Whoa!
Try not to wake up anybody late at night, because it is like 1 in the morning. basically. So let's do a quick wrap up. So, out of everything we've heard so far, what would you rate Vultures 1, Carson, out of 10?
Well, I would give it a 1 for being 1. And for being...
Actually,
Yes. I enjoyed playing Persona
Damn.
more than I enjoyed
Persona-
listening to that.
you say you enjoyed playing Persona 1,
Yeah.
then listening to Vultures 1?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's stopping it from being a 0, though, if I might ask? 'Cause that is the lowest so far.
A little bird told me there was a Vultures 2.
That's it?
Pretty much. We've got to save space for that.
That's fair. I mean, you can have multiple albums in the same tier. You have, like, a bunch of them in, like, the 9s and 8s, the earlier albums, but...
Yeah, but I'm expecting to be even less pleased.
Well, I don't want to spoil the fun. I do kind of respect the opinion. It is kind of shocking, the quality drop from Donda to this. You know, at least this is a lot shorter than Donda, but that's not saying that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at least Donda would have been good without the bloat. It's like if you're cutting
That's
the crap
true.
out of this, you wouldn't be releasing an album.
Yeah, it would just be a single, and that single would be Burn.
It wouldn't even be that. It'd just be nothing.
That's fair. Yeah, this is the most depressing episode so far. It's kind of stinked. Any other final thoughts?
You know the comment I made about Brandy Carlisle last episode?
Yeah, and how
Kanye's following
both
that
are.
same arc.
Does Miss Carlisle have a Vultures equivalent album to where it's like, okay,
Yeah, it's called
The-
Returning to Myself.
okay.
I quit halfway through on the I Hate the Orange Man song.
Oh no, that's a fate worse than death. Well, thankfully, not yet. At least Kanye has not fallen into that trapping. I mean, he's 8. You know what? No, we're gonna say that for later. But I will say he hasn't made a song like that yet. I don't think that I know of.
Now,
That's
for
Vultures.
some rearrangements that I'd like to make on the rankings.
What is it? Let's hear it.
Well, Donda gets rearranged to a 4 because the only reason I gave it a 5 is because I figured I'd stop being pissed later. I didn't, so now
And
it's
you
a 4.
didn't? Okay, so it's up with it's equal to Yeezus now. All right.
Except it's not
So-
because Jesus is going up to a 6.
All right. You know what? We take those big dubs in this household. We take the massive W's in this household. Yeezus
Because-
appreciation.
I was listening to Jesus and playing Persona 1 prior to doing this, and I hate both of those things. And during the recording of this episode, I thought to myself, man, I should have continued to play Persona 1 while listening to Jesus.
Well, hey, maybe next time, whenever you finally finish Persona 1, you can be blasting Yeezus, and maybe you'll enjoy both the game and the album more than you would if you listened to both of them isolated from each other.
Maybe.
Hopefully, we'll have another turnaround that is this quick. So, until then, we will see you gamers next time to listen to the sequel to this awesome album, Vultures 2.